What's up?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me well?
Yeah, Ken.
Okay, good. Because my phone is a bit weird because when I put in the microphone, I can't hear you. So
Oh,
it's very
I don't have a Bluetooth earphone, so I'm actually also on like loudspeaker mode.
okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you well. Okay, you looking good, man, and looking very busy as well. That's a good thing.
I got no time to sleep. Come on. Look at all
That's
this.
part of being a creative entrepreneur, babe.
I know, right? What the hell, man? I did not sign up for this at all.
Okay, you just finished a class, lah.
No, it's actually happening at this point. So what's happening is I have my instructor Charmaine that's teaching the class.
Yeah,
Then only I
yeah.
can agree to you with this Instagram live, right? If not, how am I
Okay.
going to multitask? Like,
Yeah,
hi
yeah.
guys, blue color, blue color. Next time you come here, how come black color already?
King, you really, I tell you, really I admire how you manage to be at a few places at the same time. I tried that before. I cannot.
I'm in my studio lah. Like, it's actually ongoing on the next door, so you can still hear
Okay.
some music as a background. And then,
Okay.
yeah, once in a while, maybe they will just come here and kacau me and then say, need to take photo, need help or backup or whatsoever. Then, yeah, lah, I'll go. But other than that, my instructors need to be independent. I cannot be interfering too much.
Yeah.
Rather, it would be my mentality and my mindset as to what they are going to be painting instead, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to go to that direction because I actually value creative expression, and even these days we're trying to pivot the classes that we can do. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
like how we have those thematic ones, like let's say this weekend we're gonna do this particular painting and stuff. I
Yeah.
would make that as a reference because some people they still think that they are more comfortable replicating the painting, but
Mm-hmm.
what is going to happen from my end is more likely to be like, okay, this could be a reference point, but you have to modify. There has to
Mm-hmm.
be elements of modification in there. You can refer to
Mm-hmm.
it, no problem, but the only thing I would encourage them, because I cannot use a gun to say cannot, you have to
Yeah.
do it. So it's like, yeah, I would definitely need to do the first step lah. Because eventually, then only like, say for example, maybe they have a potential to sell their artwork. I don't know. Because if you're replicating someone's work, if you put it there, I don't think people can buy lah because it's like
Mm-hmm.
copyright infringement, right?
This is pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Yeah,
I
sounds good at what you are doing right now.
Yeah, because in a way, as a painting studio or like an art studio, you call it, if we are constantly selling like copied works, then it would not make sense anymore, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I'm probably making it more like, you know, you should be more proud of your work instead of being like vulnerable and stuff. It's okay to
Yeah.
be vulnerable, but eventually you just have to take a big step and
Yeah.
say like, oh, you're slowly getting confident with what you're creating yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, for me personally, I want time to draw.
Very cute lah you. Maybe I
There's no
need to make a
time.
day where I come and see you and then I make you do it.
Yeah. I probably think, you know, because we are so used to getting people to do it, and then we forgot about our own self
Yeah.
that
Yes.
you need to
Yes.
do certain things to keep yourself sane as well. So
Yeah.
I'm like at this breaking point, like, ooh, wobbly already.
I can so relate that. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think like for us, we have to juggle with so many things, so it's very difficult for us to also be in that flow to actually paint. We also need to feed ourselves that sort of creativity, and
Exactly,
but the thing is,
right?
yeah, exactly. I like for me, I've been on the computer for back to back for the past 2 weeks, like non-stop, and I need time to paint too. And I don't paint, I go crazy.
Yeah.
I cannot stop.
Hey, can play with filter one ah. I haven't used Instagram
Oh my
filter
god,
for
how do you
so long.
figure this out? How come I don't know? Oh yeah, I can play with yourself.
Wow, I'm
Oh,
so cringy. Oh my god. Let me try. Listen.
hey,
Okay.
this is so your style, your shoe style.
Yeah. Okay lah. Got
Okay.
learn filter, so I look more chill. Okay, let's do this.
Okay. Okay, okay. We're gonna go into 3 o'clock. So you wanna start now?
Yeah, can?
Yeah, 5 people in already. Okay. So just to let you know, I have plans to post this replay in a couple of places lah. One of it is, of course, on Instagram itself. The other one it will be on my YouTube channel and also on the new YouTube channel with my husband, Journey with the Victors.
Then wait, I go put proper branding first. Now I'm on Hello Kitty. I better wear one.
Okay.
Sorry, we got strip show here halfway. Okay, I'm stripping off apron. Hello Kitty apron.
Yeah, this is a good
Now
time to
I
do
have
proper
to put
branding.
my branding. See so many platforms, right? Come on, people, look at this. Ah,
Guys, we're in for a comedy when it's both of us.
uh-oh. We shall try and control ourselves, people.
But where's the fun? You're gonna control yourself.
Sorry lah, because I also got paint stains around me. Just now I was guiding a little bit lah. Then now, yeah lor, I excuse myself. So I have paint stains. So I hope you don't mind.
Hey, it's okay. That's the artist tattoo. I walk around with paint all over me. Yeah, okay. So I was saying that so the video will be distributed on another platform as well. It's a new project. My husband and I just started a new project. So what the project is about is that we are exploring integral life
Right.
on finding happiness. That means you are covering like various aspects in life itself to a road to happiness. So one of it is creativity as well. So this will be over there because the artsy craftsy will also be under Journey with the Victors. So so it's Journey W the Victors, right?
Wow.
So yeah.
Podcaster already. Whoa.
Okay, so we're gonna start right now. So today's topic is a bit special. It's oil painting tips for beginners. So the reason why I asked for this is because I want to know about oil painting, and I've been following this particular artist, and I noticed first I admired the way how she like blend her colors and everything. There's basically not much images. It's just basically color blending. It's like dark background, and then she blends it to the corner where it's a little bit lighter, and then the shading somehow it looks so amazing. It's like it reminds me of galaxy or universe kind of theme. Then I was like thinking like, how did she achieve that?
Korean artist? Korean
Sorry?
artist, is it?
Oh no
She
no, it's she's from UK. She's from UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I was so mind blown. I'll send you the link later and let you see
Yeah,
So I was like, how she even came out with this? So I thought it was acrylic. Then I found out that actually it was oil paints.
yeah.
And it's really nice lah. Like so then that's where I started to like want to know more about oil painting, and I almost wanted to buy the paint, but I thought that maybe I should do a bit more research first, or I talk to you about it first before I actually start investing in the basic materials lah. Yeah. So
I see.
so before we do that, maybe you can just tell our audience here like a bit about yourself and what you do. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Maggie. I am the founder and the owner of MTMT Designs and Studios. So I have two separate accounts. Studios is basically an account where I share about all of my workshops, my art classes, and everything else, like teaching related on this account. And also if like there's any DIY kits, like for example painting kits and stuff, I would do it here as well. And for my other account, right, because I still want to retain an account that posts just artwork only, like no faces, no nothing, but just mainly on artwork. Of course, it's not as consistent because I'm actually running the business aspect of things, which is like the classes and stuff. If you want me to do both at the same time, I might probably be in heaven right now. For over exhaustion, like just running a studio full time and just having it like multiple various location, managing a pool of people. Although it's not like a huge organization and whatnot, but you literally plan everything from scratch. So I couldn't actually find a better alternative to actually say like, oh, this is a better way to do it, because a lot of things are quite hands-on, and I'm in the face and in the midst of like, um, exploring and discovering new artists as well. And we need to know like, if you can paint or if you can draw and stuff, doesn't mean that you can teach. So there's a lot of people who are super talented, but then when it comes to teaching, they just froze, or either like they just don't know how it goes. So that's why managing all these people aspects also like a huge thing to me. And yeah, lor, I'm growing lor.
I can totally understand, and it's true
Yeah.
because it's true about the part where you mentioned that some of us when we are artists, doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that we can actually learn how to teach. Or me, we can teach. We can learn how to teach, but it doesn't mean that we can teach because teaching
Teach and
requires different set of skills and different connection with your students and all that. Like it took quite some time for me
yeah,
also to pick that up.
it's very hard, like, say, because my temperament is like the super vibrant, cheerful, very the sohai kind one, right? Then a lot of the talented ones, right? Either, I'm not generalizing, like, I've met a couple. Some of them are a little shy. Some of them are probably not comfortable with my kind of character. Like,
Mm,
say, Maggie, you're too much, kind of thing. So they would
yeah,
rather,
yeah,
be in their own cave, something like that. And then, which I totally understand, because every artist is different and they have their own way of expression. So I won't be
mm,
judging. It's just like
mm.
sometimes getting them used to the environment, getting used to like the way things are being done is a little bit of a time frame as well, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. Totally understand that. It's true because like every student everybody's got different personality, right? So like you
Right.
have to approach each and every one of them differently. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe that's why there's pros and cons with group workshop and private workshop. Can right? It's like
Yeah.
the group is just like okay, everybody, everybody just come to everybody like that. But with private, you got to really focus on them.
Correct. If it's
Mm.
group, right, it will be fun when it's like together with your friends as well, so they can probably like chit chat and then tease each other, ha 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 ha, that kind of thing. Yeah, like private sessions sometimes it's like you don't know if can I go to the toilet. You have to ask, can I go toilet? Like that kind of thing. It's a bit awkward lah at times, but of course you can always work around it lah. So there's definitely a lot of learnings along the way, because I don't have anyone in terms of reference to base it upon. A lot of things are kind of like uh, from my own brain now, like okay, how do I run it, how do I make it better, how do I constantly go progress and stuff like that. I mean, there are a lot of art studios out there, but I try not to mimic their way of running as well, because
Mm-hmm,
eventually
mm-hmm.
it will become like, oh, I'm just another art studio kind of thing. I
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
keep more originality in terms of running it, and also putting my vibe, I don't know, vibrant character, vibrant, quite vibrant, right?
Very vibrant. You balance me out, That's why when we hang out, you balance me out. It's a thing over
Yeah,
there.
I
Okay.
don't know lah, in a way lah. So there's a lot of like considerations being put into it lah. So it's not just like, oh, I want to open an art studio and then yeah, that's how it's going to be done.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I get you. I mean, which is why I guess that's why we both like resonate with each other a lot because we don't want to just do. I mean, we are creative platforms ourselves, but we don't want to do things the way it is out there. Otherwise, then
yeah,
there's no
passion.
individuality. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
well.
thanks for sharing that part. That's really very informative, and at least people get to know more about you. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
then we'll move to the important
Huh?
part of it. Yeah, we'll move to the important part of it
Okay.
right now. Okay, so
Sure.
yeah. So what is oil painting, and what makes oil painting special? Yes, that's what I want
Okay.
to know.
Yeah. So first thing off, oil painting is just bloody expensive. It's like so expensive until I can donate even if I donate, also not enough to donate lah. But
It's an
they
expensive
have
hobby.
they have their reasons for being expensive. expensive because because it's actually formed by powder pigments, and then you
Okay.
mix with linseed oil. So in a way, all these kind of materials, when you put them together, actually the costing to create them is already very high to begin with. And
Okay.
of course, different brands also have different kinds of quality as well. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
do we start off with certain brands first as a beginner? Why do we progress to more expensive brands along the way? It's also
Okay.
because you are experimenting it along the way. So, there are quite a number of brands out there, and of course, there's China-made ones, UK-made ones, and stuff. Why is it so special? Is that because I dabble a lot with acrylic paint myself, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you want to draw those kind of realistic paintings, right?
Okay.
The blending, right, between acrylic and oil is so different that when you use acrylic to paint realistic, right, the outcome will not be as smooth as oil paint one, you know. So
Oh,
oil
I
paint is the
see.
kind, yeah, like it really blends, like like how we do contour on the face, like very
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
nice one, very
Yeah,
smooth
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So the oil paint can actually give you that kind of effect. I've seen, because I am the kind of person that loves realistic painting so much, especially hyper realistic painting, by the way. So you need it to be like super in your face, like wow, you can touch it, but it's actually a flat surface kind of thing, lah. So I'm not saying that acrylic is not doable. It is
Mm-hmm.
doable, but the amount of effort you need, right, as compared to
Okay.
oil, right, is
Mm-hmm.
just very vastly different. Of
Okay.
course, acrylic dries up very fast, and oil
Okay.
paint dries up minimum 1 week. You need about 1 week to to have the drying process in place, and that's why you see some of the artists, right, one piece of painting they can take months and months and months. It's because there's undercoating, then later mid-tone area, then like what shadowing lah, then highlight lah, everything you need to wait long. So sometimes yeah, you see if I were to compare both lah, acrylic and oil, right, acrylic is very straightforward. You can finish it
Okay.
within a few hours. That's why pricing range also not super duper expensive lah. But
Yeah.
well, oil painting is like next level, friend. You probably cannot finish one painting in just one session itself.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay. But
So
it does have its qualities because you can achieve a certain result. Although
yeah.
if put aside with acrylic, yeah, maybe you can achieve the same thing, but it's just extra special compared to acrylic, right? Like there's certain things you
Yeah.
can achieve with it.
For me, it's the blending lah. Cause like, let's say you want to
Mm-hmm.
get the skin texture of the person's face, right?
Okay.
Acrylic, when you if you realize like when you paint over the canvas, right? First layer, then you haven't finished the second layer, right? Then you can start seeing like, oh, then maybe there's too much paint, and you can see the base of the canvas already. So like,
Yeah.
you keep on going back to the same location over and over and over again. When it's not dry, you will have that kind of
Yeah.
problem, right? But for
Yeah.
oil painting, it's very pigmented that usually it's quite it's quite smooth out lah. And sometimes there are different artists with different preferences as well. Certain artists they like to make their paint a bit more like a little bit more diluted. So they would mix linseed oil to make it
Okay.
like a little thinner. So that's why they have like thinning medium for oil and stuff. And
Ah,
also,
okay.
some people they would also like to have some paint, like to fasten the paint drying process. So they have a
Yeah, yeah.
fastener. So there's
I
a bit
see.
various methods lah. Like me personally, I'm the lazy kind. I just use whatever that's from the tube. I don't like to mix all because it's number one very messy. Okay, it will be like maybe if you accidentally spill it, then wow, you wipe the floor, you got to scrub everything like that. Of course, there's like a clipper, there's a cover, everything. I can show you later also. So those are the
Okay.
things that I think is very helpful. Hang on, let me just get some. I'll
Yeah,
show you
yeah,
the
sure,
different
sure.
kinds of. I'll show you different kinds of paint first.
Okay. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post. Just leave a comment so that I can ask. We can ask Maggie. Yeah, if you have any
Okay,
questions.
so of course, because when we are beginners, right, we are always like concerned number one about costing. So what is
Yeah.
in front of see, this is actually China brand. Okay, this is
Okay.
Mary's.
Okay, it's Maggie here.
Mary's one, the pricing is not too expensive, but you can see
Mm-hmm.
they have all the basic colors here,
Okay.
and then all of this usually, right, for oil paint as well, for beginners, some people, they thought you can just buy a whole set like that. But if it's like the fine art kind of like a perspective, right, some of the people, they would buy, the huge tube instead, because there's a few colors that you would commonly use, something
Mm-hmm.
like yellow ochre, titanium white, then like the burnt sienna, and then also the indigo kind of color. And most of the time for oil painters, right, not many people would use black color one, because
Oh,
for
I see.
for acrylic,
Oh.
right, acrylic you would have all of it lah. Some, because if you're looking from the fine art perspective, right, certain people, they are
Mm-hmm.
quite particular because they don't want the black pigment to be in the painting. They would
Okay.
use other colors to form the dark colors, or like the shadowing and stuff. So this is actually a very very basic kind of set, because it's not very big also lah. Like it's quite small like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So in a way, it's also enough to let you try, because this one, the quality is not like the best, I would say, but
Okay.
it's a good
Okay.
set for a beginner to actually try out, because you want to see if you're actually going to be into oil painting or not. If not, later you buy the most expensive one, you'll be like, shit, I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
spent so
exactly.
much money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is like 24 colors, which is like a good set to begin with lah. And then of course
Okay.
there's other brands as well.
Mm-hmm.
So another brand that I would actually say it's good is Pebeo. Okay,
Ah,
Pebeo.
okay. Yeah.
You, Charlene, you did fabric painting as well, right? I knew about
Yeah.
Pebeo because of fabric paint as well, and the
Yeah.
porcelain paint and everything. So
Yeah.
then eventually I wanted to try out lah, like, oh, is their other paint good? Because I personally love the fabric paint so much. It was so pigmented, and it applies directly like acrylic paint on fabric as well. So the
Yeah.
finishing touches and everything was like one of the reasons why I love this brand so much. So I wanted to give the oil paint a try, and this one is actually not bad. So I think
Okay.
it's something that would be, like you progress from the Mary's brand, then you progress to Pebeo, because Pebeo
Yeah.
one is actually already artist grade already. There's also
I
like
see.
student grades and stuff. Like people would ask, what's the difference between student and artist grade kind of thing.
Mm. Mm.
One thing is pricing law, and also it's about
For the ability.
the pigmentation of the paint.
I
So
see.
that one is a lot of if let's say the artist is very OCD, or maybe the person who's painting is super OCD and they want like very gao that kind of texture, yeah, lor, then they
Mm.
have to experiment a few brands to see lah.
Mm,
And of
mm,
course,
mm, mm.
for our set in the studio, we are carrying Talent's art. Okay, this is actually one of the very good quality ones, and honestly, this one is one of the most recommended ones lah, I'd say.
Mm, mm, mm,
Because there's also
mm.
other brands like what, Da Vinci and all. Oh, hi Azam.
Hello. Hi. Hey, I think we have a
Yeah.
question. Shaliza, yeah, we will save this on IGTV. Yes, we will. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
but don't
So
leave the room lah.
um,
Hi, the art.
yeah,
Yeah.
Azza. Hi Azza. Okay,
Haven't
so
had a chance to
this
meet in person yet.
oh, you should go to Momo KL then, because you will
Okay.
see her there.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay. Yes. Continue. Yes.
so
Interesting part. This one.
this one is actually the recommended set that we are working with lah, because we actually got this from Le Art Shop, okay, and
Okay.
then
Cassie's
because Le
shop.
Art
Yeah.
Shop is also a close friend of us, because
Mm-hmm.
this is a set like what we did here. We curated a set for oil painting beginners, not only just curating a whole set with easel and all of the equipments that we need in the set, right? We also
Mm-hmm.
throw in some packages like for painting and stuff with discounts and everything. So that was the
Okay.
part where I was supposed to elaborate further, but because I want to talk about the paint types that we have first. So these three are some of the brands that I would bring it out because since I have it with me, right? And definitely there's also like Liquitex, the expensive shit ones, and then
Yeah.
there's also like Winsor and Newton. But Winsor and Newton is much more popular for their watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the UK one, not the China one. Please be careful.
Oh, there's a difference. I didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
There's
I didn't know
differences.
that.
Like
Okay.
I've heard from many people like Winsor and Newton. If you buy the China one, right, the quality is very different. You have to buy the original Winsor and Newton one because
How
they
do
are.
you how do you tell the like you mean when
Uh,
it says made in China or made in does
that
it
is
really
one
say?
way, but because I also get supplies from China also, ma. So usually Winsor and Newton China, I won't really touch lah. I will work with the more European brands are something that I would be mindful of law. Like for example, Mary's is for sure China lah, you know, right? This one
Yeah,
Mary's,
yeah, yeah.
you can
That's
find
like
it.
a popular China brand.
Correct, correct. The
Yeah.
quality is very very different. It's like some people, if let's say you bring it to a very professional artist and then you give him this pen, you'll be like, what is this shit paint kind of thing? Because sometimes like you don't know why the particles come out one, or maybe like the oil, right, is like not
Yeah,
mixed.
that's damn annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super duper annoying. Plus, lagi
Yeah.
because oil paint, right, you don't want the oil to be separated from the pigment, right? That's like the worst
Yeah.
case scenario. Imagine your
Oh,
canvas is
God.
painted with oil instead of paint. Like, why? Oh yeah,
That's
I want to show you the oil case.
any more questions, guys? Just ask.
Yeah, so the oil case, right, would look something like this. It's like a contact lens casing like that. But you
Giant
see
contact.
see how they have like this cover? Okay, it looks something like this. Then you can cover so it wouldn't overflow. And another thing is there's this clip at the back here, right? So say for example you have a palette and then you just want to clip it here. Okay, so it wouldn't fly around more. I show you an example.
Okay.
So assuming this is like the palette, right? And then you want to clip it on the side here.
Ah, okay. Wow. You know that in my more than 10 years of creative profession, only now I learn how to learn the purpose of this.
What? What
I've
do
never
you do?
had a use for it. That's why I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Certain sets, right? They would, provide you an extra tube of white. Like how this is from the China set, right? They gave you like
Yeah.
24 colors, and then white color they also give you a separate one because most of the time for any kind of painting that we do, like acrylic or oil or even like watercolor, you would definitely need to use this main color so much. That's why for everybody who wants to buy any art set ever at all, I would just recommend, get a lot of white color. You would
Okay.
continuously need to do it. Because even for
Okay.
my studio, right, my white color is constantly like on a refill mode one.
That's
It's a
cool.
bit
That's
crazy.
cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to show you like oil thinning medium. Okay, there's one
Okay.
like that. This
Okay.
is like Mary's brand lies in our kit. Of course, there's actually other brands as well, but this is good enough already.
Okay.
And then there's also like what do you call this? Some people would need like they would need like different kinds of solvents as well. So this one is
Solvent.
like oil paint thinner, if you can see.
Ah, I see.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Then this one is the medium for oil color, if you can see.
Oh. Ah, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it.
So
Oh, this is
it's
interesting, huh? It's
yeah,
somewhat similar to acrylic.
it's mainly used for like those a little bit more hardened kind of oil. Sometimes
Mm-mm-mm.
pressing it out is also one issue already. So there's different ways of using these two items as well. Okay, so depending on the artist, because I know of certain artists who really didn't really bother, adding all these mediums and all. They just use original. Maybe because their paint is new lah, that's why. But if your paint is a bit older already, like you bought
Mm.
it many years ago and then you wanted to make use of it, then yeah, you might need a medium to actually thin it down. Not like, oh, you can just add water. If you add water, then goodbye already lah, your paint.
So from what I gather, oil painting is pretty technical as well, in terms of understanding the design right up to painting.
But actually, when you paint it, right, it's quite
Mm.
similar to your usual acrylic paint style one. So,
Mm.
and then the types of brush that you use, right, it's a bit more textured lah. Let me show you.
Sure, sure. Guys, any more questions? Just leave a comment and we'll ask Maggie.
Okay, so for my observation myself, right, for oil painting brushes, usually it's a bit more textured. Okay, you can
Yeah,
see like these thick ones, and then sometimes for acrylic we're using this kind of brushes, right, the nylon
yeah,
ones, and
yeah,
these brushes here. Sometimes some people they want to have that kind of like strokes on their background or even on their subject matter and stuff. This is how
yeah,
it's being done lah, because you can see it's a bit more rough. And
yeah.
when you paint out, right, you can see the bristles on.
You want to
So,
know what's interesting? I actually own, I think about 3 to 4 pieces of the oil painting brushes, but I use it for
uh-huh.
acrylic, and I kind of like the effect. I don't know why, but I use it particularly for certain things only, and it turned out
Yeah,
really nice.
some people
So I
they
guess,
like that lah.
yeah,
So it really depends because like how ballerina the tutus you want to create some of those lines, right? I use
yes,
this
yes.
kind of brush too, and of course, not to forget we also have palette knife. Palette knife
Uh-huh.
is one way to mix the color on the palette, and another is to also create textures as well. And
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed though, like if you use acrylic brush, acrylic paint to create texture on the canvas, right? After it dries, right? Let's say you want it to be a bit more like thick, right? Maybe some
Hmm.
people they will mix impasto or something like that. So sometimes
Yeah,
I just lazy. I just want to use the acrylic paint to become like one gao or something like that one. It's like a
yeah,
very
yeah,
3D kind of form. Do you
yeah.
notice that when it dries off, right, then it kind of like sink down a little bit.
Yes, yes,
It's not as per your expectation one. But
yes.
I realized for oil paint, right, if it's pigmented enough, right, whatever
Hmm.
you put on, right, after when it dries, is also like the 3D form, which is what I
Oh, I
wanted.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
My
Wow, this is
catch,
interesting.
yeah, my catch is it's gonna take a very long time to dry, and also your paint has to be pigmented enough lah. Cause minimum 1 week okay. If you got no
1 week.
time, then yeah, if you got no time, then forget about it.
1 week. So,
Yeah,
so basically, if I have time to set the day to paint it, and then I have to leave it in a safe space for it to
yeah,
safely dry up for
correct.
1 week.
You need
Oh,
to,
wow.
let's say some people they go through phases, right? Like you prime the painting first, then after you
Mm.
add the mid tone, then you add the shadow, then you add the highlight. That's like 5 weeks already, 5 weeks,
Wow.
friend.
This is why we have to
And
pay fine artists, right? A lot of money for their paintings.
exactly, that's the reason why oil paintings are so expensive, especially the collectors.
Yeah.
If they have certain artists that they're eyeing on, right, then yeah, that's the reason why they go through so much in terms of their process flow already. So
That's
now
interesting.
that you know,
Mm.
respect oil painters. Actually,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
respect everybody, every creators. Because even acrylic also takes a long time. Okay,
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
time, ah.
So one painting is still sitting inside my room there, and it's been like 2 months already.
Correct. I guess it's all about, perspective and also your application and your execution flow. Because everybody takes a very different journey, especially me. I am one of the very out of the blue kind of person that jumps into creative like, wow, who is this Maggie? I also wanted to highlight this part. So
Okay.
some people, right, they would have different techniques when it comes to painting oil and painting acrylic. So
Okay.
for me personally, when I teach acrylic painting, right, I would usually get my students to start with like the lightest color first. So say for example,
Okay.
in the color spectrum, yellow color, white color, all these areas are the lightest color, correct? But
Yeah.
on the reverse side, right, for oil paints, right, sometimes you need to do the base darkest color first. Because
I see. Okay.
yeah, if you were to do the lightest color first, then you might not be able to showcase the highlight as much because it becomes a bit more realistic, or maybe it becomes a bit more of a picture for oils because
Mm.
you get the priming done, then everything like mid tone, shadow, everything, all the tone done already. Highlight comes out last month, like the white color.
Okay.
Sometimes for acrylic, you can also do that as well. But
I see.
majority or like the more generic way, oil paint usually starts with the darker color first, then only proceed with the lighter color. So
Oh,
that's my
okay.
discovery lah, and I don't know if it's the same for everybody. So
That's
yeah.
interesting. Oh, okay. I perhaps leaning towards more of exploring with oil paint very soon. You got me at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
darker
yeah.
parts.
It's quite a discovery, I'd say. It's something that you'll be like, you thought you're comfortable, then you just start and then you're like, actually, this is so challenging, but it's okay. I'm gonna try.
No, very
Yeah.
cute. Okay. So I
There's
guess
not there's not many people who is still very courageous. Sorry, I'm breaking your
it
conversation.
is no. I think that's actually very interesting because it is connected to the question that I want to ask the next thing, because we mentioned about um like not everyone is courageous, right? So that means like what I want to ask is like, can oil painting be self-taught or should it be guided to in order to build that
um,
courage to try it out?
Right. So I wouldn't say oil paint in specific. I would just say art in general.
Okay.
To be frank, I am someone who is considered as self-taught too.
Okay.
So I don't really have a sifu next to me. Okay, Maggie, you have to try this, and stuff. A lot of times you might not be learning the full set from one particular sifu yourself also. So I think it's all about exploring, staying curious all the time. I personally will say you can actually learn things by being a self-taught person, and you
Hmm.
can also go through guided, because obviously my studio is also here ready for you to come.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's two parts, because some of the people, let's say we are in Malaysia right now, and you want an artist all over from whichever country to teach you.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
can it be guided? It couldn't be guided anymore, right? Maybe you can watch
Yeah.
their pre-recorded video, or are they going to really take time and then screenshot? Okay, let me try to brush stroke this for you so you can do it and replicate from your end. It's a bit hard, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
say if you come for guided, you can get hands-on guidance. But if it's self-taught, right, most of the time you will have to learn it from a screen, and then you have to apply
Hmm.
and then learn it from yourself, which is also a very different kind of discovery, to be frank.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
I'm a pro both side. I'm okay self-taught, and I'm also okay like guided session, because one way it's a different kind of like learning experience, and I think it's something very crucial in your learning journey as well.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's a very good extra tip over there. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm actually not shutting doors for online and physical class. There's no ultimatum, to be honest. It's like you need to have both. I would recommend actually trying out both, and then you blend it together. Then you would see a very different form of like outcome for yourself as well. This speaking
Yes.
from my
Yes.
own like art in general perspective lah. Of course, oil painting, with all the technicality that I just told you, it will be best for you to be onboarded with someone professional, so you would get like guidance that would assist you in terms of your academic learning girl, or maybe one day you want to be an artist, you want to try and sell your work, then you would
Yes.
know what kind kind of artwork would sell better, and how do you preserve it? How do you actually go up into the international marketplace lah? So that is all
Yeah.
about understanding the market and who your audiences or target market could potentially be lor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I like that bit there. Thank you for sharing that part. Okay. So when
It's about money
we
ma,
move
right?
on, yeah, very true. So then that's very interesting because it also is connected to the following question, which is
Yeah.
so for beginners, what else do they need to keep in mind during oil painting? Because you mentioned the extra stuff, you added the extra tip over there earlier. But like, what
Yeah.
else do they need to keep in mind during oil painting?
Um, some people say that the oil or the smell that you inhale is hazardous. So maybe
Okay.
you want to read the labels before buying lah. Sometimes some of the oil they would put there odorless. That
Mm-hmm.
would be helping you a lot. Oh no.
Okay. Hey guys, sorry, there's a bit of a technical error again.
Is it because it's
Oh.
raining soon?
Oh, okay. So those aside, okay, because over here as well, it's like getting a bit drizzly already. Oh my goodness. Okay.
The sky is a bit dark lah. Hopefully we
Please,
can finish
please
it
let me.
before the
Yeah,
rain
please let me
started.
go through this. I
Okay,
wanted to
anyway,
ask
so
you. Yeah,
yeah, you're asking about something that you should be mindful of. So some people they
yeah.
actually told me that the linseed oil smell is very pungent. Like if
Okay.
you are in an enclosed environment, it would be a bit of a taxing for you when it comes to your nose and everything. So I would
Okay.
recommend looking out for odorless thinners, especially if you have
Okay.
like you intend to mix your paint with some oil so that
Okay.
you can dilute it a little bit. So that is one
Okay.
way. And I also recommend doing it at like a open air space. Like maybe
Mm.
you live indoors, you want to open your windows. So that would be a bit more recommended. Uh, how,
Ah, okay.
However, if you have kids, like super naughty ones, and then they would try and mess up your place, right? Then you either find a locker that you can lock your painting or whatsoever, or maybe like you just let's say you have this one, right? You pour a little bit here, then you just use a little bit, then the rest, right? You just keep it away. So I understand some of you are like parents. You want to go and continue your passion, but your kids are like, mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, that kind of thing. So it can be I totally understand. Yeah, for their pain also, it's either you choose a time where they're sleeping to do it, or you choose a time where they are not at home. So that's your only
Yeah.
like I don't know, like a way for you to express lah. Of course, don't stress yourself out too much because my personal fear when it comes to painting is like when I'm staring at a blank canvas, I have no idea how to proceed. So for a person, like let's say if you are completely new, you want to start something, what do you need to keep in mind is that write down certain topics you want to paint beforehand. Okay, let's say you want to say you write down like, oh, I want to paint portrait, I want to paint strawberry, I want to paint like
Mm.
banana, everything. You write all of this down first. If you are like staring at a blank canvas, you don't know what to do, right? Stare at your list. Whichever speaks to you most that time, right? It will be
Yeah.
the thing that you'll be painting already. Then
Well, that's amazing.
yeah, if not, if let's say you talk about banana, okay, not the human one, the real eating banana, okay. Okay, so let's say you talk about banana, you can choose to Google image it, or you can also choose to actually have a real banana in front of you. Then you do
Mm.
still life drawing. So it's all of these things around you that would make you be inspired lah. For me, that is how it works for me lah. Just that right now, the time to sleep are really not enough also. So you I
Yeah.
mean don't draw banana, eat banana also no time really.
So
both,
okay, to like
both
burn
human
off
and the what also no time.
that part. Not really. But yes, I get what you mean. Sometimes we got no time to do so many things. We just want to blend everything and just telan, like just swallow everything.
Then abstract art lah. You don't know what to do. Okay, never mind. Take few colors, abstract only. Just here one stroke, there one stroke. Then suddenly we draw one line, two line, then here and there. Intuitive painting, ma. Come on. You turn on some music, and then this music go with the flow. Close your eyes. I
Yes.
love you, baby.
Intuitive painting, come to me, okay? I teach you guys
That
intuitive.
one go back to Charlene already.
Uh, That's so funny. Okay, that's actually really good information.
Yeah.
So, so the next thing is I would like you to share with us, like for beginners to start, what basic supplies do they need? Because earlier you shared some of the different paints and different brands
Yeah.
and what are the stuff, but maybe like in detail, like what are the basic supplies that they need to start as a beginner?
Very very simple ones are okay. You first need to have, I would say, basic ones, yeah, not like the exaggerated ones, yeah. You probably need a palette, okay? A palette could be the glass palette kind or the wooden palette kind. Okay, some
Okay.
people they actually like to mix it on the glass panel because easier to wash, right? So
Yeah.
for our side here, we have the wooden ones. The wooden ones, we have those terrible. Okay, when I say terrible, right, it's the can tear one, not terrible, huh? Because I did this explanation to my students, and they're like, "Why is it terrible? It's such a useful palette." I said, "No, tear, terrible." So this is something I want to show you. Okay, so
Guys, if you got any more questions, just leave a comment below.
so funny lah, these people.
But this talk is funny.
Yeah, like I was actually telling them, yeah, it's a terrible palette paper. So how it looks like is something like this, which is also something I'm using in my studio.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in a way where every sheet, right, once you're done, you can tear it off. But because sometimes it's a bit small for you, so this palette, right, is big enough. So what you do is you can have this as your base, and then you put one sheet of paper on top, so you have more space left like that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
because here, right, it's very hard for you to hook the contact lens cover here. Yeah, because it's a bit hard for, you can do that too, but if you want to tear the paper, right, it's a bit mafan. So imagine putting this on top of this, okay?
Okay.
Then you still got some space here, so you can hook it here.
I see.
So this
Okay.
was the way to go lah, and I prefer palette that has a hole also sometimes because you can actually hook your finger so
Okay.
it doesn't fall
Yeah.
off. As opposed to like the glass kind, it has to be on the table because it's heavy. So
Yeah.
that is a way to go about it, lor. Then of
Okay.
course, once you have that, you also want to look into brushes.
Okay.
Brushes, okay, you can see you have a brush holder to keep it organized, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and not necessary, but it's good to have lah, okay? So your brushes won't go missing. I'll show you some examples. It's very important to have different kind of brush heads because you never know what kind of areas you want to paint. Sometimes you want to paint the background, so the thicker brush would be very helpful. Okay,
Okay.
and then these smaller brushes are like for you to look into details. Details would make a lot of sense when you're painting, like, you know, the human's eyes or like those
Okay.
freckles, but wrinkles. It's called freckles and wrinkles. And then, like, you
The
know, those
details.
eyelashes. Although I don't have any of it. Yeah, and especially hair. So hair and stuff, right? You need like a super duper fine brush, like
I see.
super
Okay.
duper, yeah, because you need to be like very very detailed, you know. And of course,
What?
palette
Not the fan brush lah. You
fan
know the
brush.
fan.
Fan brush is more commonly used for, you know, those that people that draw trees.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
dot, those lah. I mean, You can have
Okay.
it too because that one is considered as a particular genre of painting already.
I
It's
see.
more
Okay.
widely used for scenic paintings lah, I'd say.
I
But
see.
because we're talking about basic ma, so basic lah.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
Oh,
and
this is a very nice one.
yeah, flat brushes are my very common brushes, and all these kind of like brush heads because of the texture, and palette as well. Palette knives. There's blunt ones, there's sharp ones, small ones, and thinner and thicker ones. So all
Hmm.
these have different usage. Because sometimes you want to, like, can actually draw your eyebrow kind of thing, like.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is like a very basic set. Of course, you
Okay.
can add on more with different kinds of brushes, like you mentioned, the pen brush. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm very OCD with my outline brush. I need it to be like super duper detailed. So I usually will have very enormous amount of like those kind of this kind of thin heads.
Whoa.
There's different sizes also lah. You can see I can even draw my eyeliner.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Because it's that fine, it's that
Very
fine that you can actually use it for that as well.
Some brushes, right? One stupid fine brush can cost you at least $20 or $30. I've seen the most
Yeah.
expensive one is about $50.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think I should combine my own hair and then I sell it for $1,000, right?
I saw that's so expensive. I think I saw a couple of months ago. I think at Art Friend it was like how much for one of the brushes? I think about up to 1K plus also got. That's
Wow,
a really
I
super
really,
bad one.
it's such a good
Crazy that
piece,
one.
right? Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the basic ones are those, and also because I also covered on paints, right? So
Yeah.
like I would just re bring it back again. Okay,
Reintroduce.
so these are the cheaper beginner set ones for
Okay.
you to kickstart and see if you like it or not. Okay.
Okay.
I think we actually carry this as well. We have a couple of sets in the studio, and this one is priced at about $50 or $60. I can't really remember.
Okay.
So it's not too expensive. And then you can
Yeah.
see, like for Pebble, the pricing will increase a little bit. Pebble is probably around $80 to $90, if not mistaken,
Okay.
for this
Okay.
24 colors one.
So it's
Sorry,
not much difference though from that one.
this is 20 colors. Just now that one is 20.
20.
And this is
Oh, okay.
bigger. So this one is 20
Bigger.
ml. And
Mm.
just now this one, right? This one is actually at never write man. Oh, 12 ml. This is 12
Oh, okay.
ml of
Okay.
24 colors. And then
Okay.
this one is 20 colors, each at 20 ml. Lah. I cannot remember exactly the price, but I think it's within the range of 100 ringgit each. Lah. So
Okay.
Talent art is more expensive and it's more premium lah. So this one is about
Mm.
100 plus or 120 to 130 if not mistaken. Yeah, but this one is at 24 colors, 12 ml. You can
Ah,
compare.
okay.
Yeah, you can compare. This
Mm.
is 12 ml. This is also 12 ml, 24 colors.
Mm, yes.
Price range is almost like close to 1/4 difference. Yeah. Not made in
So
China. This is from Netherlands.
this is from Netherlands. So this is a European brand lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, lor.
So
And
I'll
of
just
course,
the basic.
yeah, of course, you cannot forget about your canvas.
Yes.
So practice canvases can look something like this. These are the thin ones, okay?
Okay.
Because some of you might be a little scared when it comes to painting it on a huge canvas. So you can try out with small canvases. These are all like canvas panels lah. As compared to this kind of canvases, this kind of
Yeah.
canvas maybe it might be a bit more pricey. Then it might be burning a hole. Let's say you're just going to do it for 1 or 2 times. Unless you have a special occasion, like you have commission work, then for sure you can use this. You might want to get it bigger also. But for practices, the canvas panels are good enough. Okay? And then,
Okay.
yeah, you also need to look into a few things. Um, for sketching your draft on the canvas, for example, okay, some people, they have different methods to do it. Some uses pencil, some uses charcoal, some uses like the paint itself. So it's up to you whether you want to use any of this. My personal preference is actually color pencil because
Okay.
you know, like how when you use 2B pencil, HB pencil,
Yeah.
everything, you will see like
Yeah.
the graphite on the canvas, right? Then if, for
Yeah.
example, if your paint is not darker than the graphite, then you will see the pencil line. So I don't like that. I
Yeah.
usually would use color pencil to color over, because when you're paint color over, whether if it's for my acrylic, watercolor, or even like oil paint, I would recommend color pencil. Okay?
Same. I agree with that as well because I use the same thing also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then medium, thinning medium, you can try out with the cheaper ones first. See if
Okay.
you like using thinning medium or not, because maybe sometimes you buy the most expensive one, then you realize I actually don't need this shit, so why am I doing this? You can try out first. Yeah, you can try out the paint first. If you really think you need
Okay.
one, then you go and buy. Okay?
Okay.
Another, so if the person has more budget lah, right? We would definitely recommend, you know, like an easel. Okay, easel can be of various kinds. So this is what we have as a table easel.
Oh,
Okay,
it's nice.
yeah, very good quality, solid one. Hello, this is like a hand model, but a bit failed.
Like this, like this.
It's actually quite solid. And then because you can even you know, carry it like
Okay.
go to picnic like that.
Hmm.
It's quite handy. And you see there's those rubber soles at the bottom, right?
Oh,
So
that's nice.
you know, like go here, go there. Like it wouldn't slip lah. So this is
Yeah.
something I really like. And of course, if you prefer standing, so you don't want your butt to be too big, also, you can always get the standing easels lor. So some of them they like to do the 90-degree easel. Some of them they like to do the incline easel. So
Okay.
depending on the person themselves. Like
Ah.
I personally like to sit down and sometimes I like to stand. So I have both table and the standing easel. Yeah.
I see.
Uh,
Okay, cool.
oh yeah.
Any other stuff?
Right. One more thing
Yeah.
is, a lot of people ask me, how exactly do you wash the brushes? Because you cannot use
Ah, yes.
ah.
Very important this one.
So this is what we call it as a oil paint brush cleaner. Ta-da!
Ah.
It's like some tiffin, right? So you can see the base here is something like this. Okay, and then
Okay.
like a mangkuk like that. So
Okay.
anytime you can just take it out and then come back. Funny. Yeah, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, so I give you an example how to wash lah, okay? So how you do it is, this one on top here, right, is for you to hook your brush like that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so maybe if you want to make sure your brush is not rolling around the table, you can also put it here. And then the base inside here, right, is for you to brush it lor. Let's say the paint is on the brush, right, inside here.
I
Um,
see.
so how do you can't just do it like that. Of course, you have to put a solution inside lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Some commonly used ones are thinner. Okay. The hardware store kind of thinner, but that one
Oh,
you
okay.
cannot store too long lah. Cause some of the brush cleaner, right, after you use it once, usually you would add on to above this level, a little
Okay.
slightly higher. So you can actually put your brush inside and then you can wash, right?
I
Then
see. Okay.
if you put it level, then how to wash? You're painting this instead, right? So this is like a container, which is very handy when you are painting as per your progress. So you want your brush to stay, you won't dirty anything else. There's also another kind
Mm-hmm.
you can cover as well. So your
Okay.
solution, you can store it for a longer time, sometimes up to a month. Then you can change the solution over and over. But most of the time, if you buy the good quality solution, right, you can last for quite a number of times to wash it on.
I see. Okay. Wow, that's very
Don't
interesting.
use water. You use water, then GG already. Your your hand will be super oily one thing, and then the brush is going to be forever like coated with a
Oh,
layer. You know
ah,
when you cook, right? You add water into oil, it's like it will separate already, right?
yes,
So the
yes.
same effect it's going to be a bit mafan here lah.
Hence why I said that oil painting is a bit more technical. Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
technical,
it is.
a little bit more tedious, but finishing is
Yes, yes,
very
yes.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
That's the thing. That's the thing that is.
you want the smooth effect, right?
That's the thing that's making me want to try.
Yeah, especially if you want to do the blending very, very nicely, right? Oil paint is
Yeah, yeah.
because
It's
sometimes
definitely yeah.
you just have to, you would definitely just see something like that only, that you wouldn't
Mm,
go further in terms of the blending part there, right?
that's interesting, really. Okay. So for the $1 million question, if if beginners want to purchase the supplies, where can they get and what do you have to offer?
Come on, slide into our DM, man. We have everything you need. So, together with Artes Malaysia, Artes My, the Instagram account, I can type it in later.
Yeah.
We actually came out with this oil painting kit. Call it as portable oil painting kit. So in a way, it's pop kit in short. So
Is
POP.
that correct? Is that
Yeah,
correct, Artest?
yeah,
My
test my
okay.
the Instagram
Okay.
account. So we actually curated this oil painting kit during MCO because we realized that there's a lot of people selling acrylic paint sets, but nobody is daring enough to sell oil painting lah. And probably because the awareness for oil painting in the community is still very, very low. So the exposure towards it is still like at a very, very like here kind of level. Acrylic painting is like rooftop already. Everybody
Yes.
will be like, oh, is this acrylic? Is this watercolor? It's just like how when we're younger we use the bancho, the oil
Yeah,
paint.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So we know about that. And then when you talk about oil painting, what's that? Can eat one kind of thing. So then people they would have this kind of question lah. So we thought of like, joining hands together, curate an entire set that mainly a beginner would need all of this equipment. Of course, if it's a seasonal kind of painter, they want to have the entire set as well. That is also the way to go lah. Because you can have a full set at home, or you can have a handy set where you can just go to a park and then do picnic there, or even paint like Salvador Dali on the ocean. He would put
Wow.
himself on a float, put the easel in front of him, then he start painting. Wow, still life at its
Wow.
best, okay? So we
That's
really hope that we can inspire people to do things like that because our set comes in a box like that, and then you have
okay.
all the equipment inside it. And because we also try and work with a lot of local brands, so you can see like our bag, right? This bag. Okay, this bag is by Suri Lifestyle. Okay, so Suri Lifestyle is a social enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
They are a group of women who actually upcycle denim to create all of these bags. So you can see these ones, right? The top here, they are upcycled denims. And then the bottom part here is from Levi's. Because Levi's, they used to have a lot of reject items, right? So what they did is they actually donate it to them, and then they're using them to create like bags, and you can repurpose it. You reduce the wastage in the fashion industry. And of course,
Yeah.
because you want to make it very homegrown, very Malaysia, right? There's batik prints inside, so you can flip it over.
Oh, reversible.
It's a reversible bag, correct? And
Nice.
you can become minimalist, or you can become funky batik whenever you feel. Okay, so the bag will look something like this after you put it in. Yeah,
Oh, nice lah, the bag.
yeah, it's quite big and then got a lot of pocket inside one.
Yeah.
Can fit me or not? Cannot lah.
I think I can put my cat in there though.
So you see, right, the bag, right, is actually custom to the size of our easel as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
is we actually slot it in whenever we have a customer purchase. So you can put the easel in, and then other stuff like these small things, right? You can also slot it in all together at the
Oh,
same time. Then you can just bring the whole bag. You can just bring the whole bag to a picnic. There you go.
nice.
Yeah. You see all this, right? It may look like it's very light now, but actually no, it's very very heavy. I'm not saying that you have to carry this heavy stuff around lah. Probably because maybe you can plan your day out. You want to see like, oh, I want to draw this particular scene. You can just bring certain colors you need. Because if I put everything inside here, right, like all of this, you don't need so big, right? You can just pour it in this contact lens case kind of thing. Yeah, then you just
Yeah,
pick whatever you need. Then you choose the color you want to bring, so it wouldn't be too heavy. But even if it's heavy, right, the whole set of our pop kit is about 5-6 kg, and you can actually see that this is very solid. This one is sewn in a way where you can withstand quite heavy stuff. So we're not
yeah.
very. It's very very solid to work around. Imagine um, one stone kill 2 to 3 birds. You are also helping a social enterprise, you're also
Yeah,
helping yourself. And then another thing is you are moving out of your comfort zone, which is more important. So these are
yeah.
the things where we want to inspire and empower
Mm.
people to actually try and produce, create, and be inspired.
Which is why I wanted to do this IG live because of the whole because you know that I support creativity,
Yeah,
creative
go
development.
Phil,
Yeah.
Shalin.
Like I'm like a big advocate for it. So, and I find that it's so interesting that really true enough, I've never seen people doing the oil painting kit. And you guys actually did it, it's very different, and you're right. Whenever we talk about art, it's always like, is this watercolor? Is it acrylic? It's either these two,
Yeah,
right? So I think it's time for something new to come about, for
correct.
people to dare to try different things as well, not just stick to one or two mediums or safe mediums.
You probably have to
Yeah.
make it a bit more mainstream, lah. Like you know, like how calligraphy can be super mainstream, embroidery can be
Yes.
super mainstream. Then we have this, what was it? Pouring art. Then subsequently,
Yes.
floral bouquet, everything. But not many people are into like, oh, let's make oil painting something cool again. But with all
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
right, all of these steps here, don't you think it's something that needs to be cherished in terms of cultural perspective? And also,
Yeah.
what if one day nobody wants to do oil painting anymore? Then who is going to be the one that is telling you how to do it? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I personally am an advocate of being different from everybody else. So
Mm.
yeah, that's why I wanted to actually make it more consistent in that way lah. And I'm really thankful for our test because our test and we came up with the idea. Then actually basically it's our test idea first. I have some of the sets that I sell as well. So we sort of like join hands together to actually curate this, and then here we are. We didn't take in a lot of sets as well because we think that we are confident with the number of people who are interested, but we do know that it still needs a lot of push, it still needs a lot of awareness to get it
Mm.
more popular like this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in terms of the pricing, do you wanna share the pricing, or would you prefer them to DM you and find out more?
I can actually reveal the pricing and I need to tell people why because
Okay. Okay.
we
Good. That's good.
sold the entire thing at the price of 799 initially, and then at the pre-launch we sold it for 499, which is pre-launch sale, and it's a very very good price. Right now it's at 699 because we want to try and lower the price a little bit, not because we're discounting on quality. You can see this one is already 120 $130 itself already. the easel itself, if you go outside, you can get that set probably around 200-300 already. So you see
Yep.
200 plus that color, and then we got the custom brush holder for you, okay?
Yep.
And then we got the custom reversible bag for you, and then
Yes.
never mind. The more important value that not everybody can provide is I have a lifetime 20% membership off for the person who purchases it. So meaning whatever classes you join here in my studio, right, is 20% off your whole life, okay? It's like not oh okay, just for 1 year, 2 year kind of thing. It's also the
Yep.
same for Artes, because Artes is now providing virtual classes. A lot of her customer base are in different parts of Malaysia. Some of them they are overseas as well. So in relation to the kind of courses that they actually provide like oil painting virtual sessions with Mr. Yeo Eng Ping. He's a very, very renowned artist. And for my side here, I of course also have physical sessions with guided by my own instructors as well. They're also of very, very quality backgrounds. So these are things that would, keep the entire momentum going, and we hope that more people actually appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's a very good info to share. Thanks for sharing with them. Okay. So I think we covered quite a bit of the information, which is all very, very important stuff. Of course, I will, with the replay as well, hopefully then people will start to know more and create more awareness. I will also try and provide the information in the description so that they know who to go to get this.
Yeah, and the link,
So
I can
yeah.
send the link to you so you can share it.
Yes. Yes, that would be good because I'll include it in the YouTube channel as well, in the YouTube videos as well, and on Facebook as well. Yeah.
We actually probably not many sets left, a few
Okay.
numbers, but we hope that we are able to benefit more people with the set. So if we
Yes.
can sell it out, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully with this session, more of you would be more interested to kickstart oil painting, and then you can become the next Picasso or something, or the Malaysian famous artist, something like that lah.
Yeah, I really hope oil painting picks up also lah. It's time for something new to come about already.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we end, maybe you want to take a tour, take our viewers a tour around your studio so that they know MTMT Studio.
Can.
Yeah, MTMT Studios got all kinds of classes, art classes.
So right now I'm at my workshop area. You can see there's like a table with a lot of stuff here. Today got no workshop, but we just did a Facebook Live previously with PBG Tunku. I was teaching people how to make this bouquet, snack box, and then my friend was teaching how to make this snack bouquet. Okay. So we have a lot of stuff going on here. Then here's like a eating area. Then I got my birthday bouquet that just got to me not long ago. A birthday. And then like some display here. And then what's happening on the other side is basically the painting session. So they are actually having the session ongoing. Yeah. Yeah, you can see like works are being done. They're doing most of them they're actually doing it first time, doing like a Bob Ross style. Okay.
Wow, nice. I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, they're shooting now because it's pretty much the end of the session already. And then I'll go on with the other parts here. Oh, this is like a couple painting. So one and two, very similar. Okay.
Nice.
So this is like another student here, but this is a teacher. This is Charmaine, and this is this Clara. Is it Clara? Yeah. So she's doing a very summer inspired. Wait.
That's very nice. Very nice.
Summer inspired theme. Yeah. And then right. So this is like working on a scenery. Oops.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is happening whilst I'm having the Instagram live with you guys.
So nice lah.
No, I cannot multitask, so the teacher has to be there.
What about your shoe designs?
Oh yeah, my shoe design. What did
Yeah, must show. That one must show.
this part out? Okay, so it's in the
Oh wow.
cabinet. So this has been around since 2019. I haven't updated ever since. Yeah, and then you can see like oops. So there's also like some candle stuff because we share a studio space with a candle maker. Um, and then we were doing a test run for their workshop as well.
Oh yes, correct. Yes.
And then like some shoes that I created, and then some that I painted. The other side, these are some older works. Like, I haven't been creating new ones. They, most of the new ones, right, is sent overseas already.
Oh, okay.
Don't keep them because I was commissioned to do them, right? So
Yeah.
that's basically how things are being run here, lah. I
Mm.
couldn't concentrate too much also, lah. It's a lot of work for everything, Can die one.
Yeah. I can understand. Sometimes like so many things have to do, we have to let go of a few stuff.
Yeah.
But that's part of being in the creative field. We have to multitask all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I also wish it would recover after this recovery period. Hopefully, more people would, spend their time for activities outside their house. Everybody is pretty much in a state of like looking for things to do now, and
Yeah.
as opposed to constantly Netflix and chilling, maybe picking up a brush or doing a new hobby would be something we should cultivate lah in terms of a passion project or something like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So when are you going to have the next live drawing session?
Life drawing our models are forever ready lah. It's just because I am between my studio and I'm between Rex KL as well.
Oh yes, correct. Yes.
Is a little bit like all over the place. So
Okay.
to get that out, I really need to plan the schedule out. And because I also wanted more creators to come in, like we are probably thinking of having a pottery maker to have a pottery workshop, and then candle workshop, and then also like our signature shoe painting has to come back into the scene as well lah.
Yep.
So a lot of things going on lah, but of course I would hope that it gets more autopilot soon, so I don't have
Yeah.
to look like a dog anymore.
Yeah.
The instructors would also be able to build up their own branding because I would highlight the instructors who are teaching more than the painting that will be being taught instead. So
Yeah.
when you feature the artists more, they will get more publicity, and then that's where opportunities will come to them. So I would probably see it as a talent agency where, let's say, if corporates wants to work with us, I would say, okay, which artist do you want? Then it will be
Nice.
easier lah, right?
Nice.
So,
Yes.
hello.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so I look forward to coming back for the live drawing session. I miss that very much.
People, is it? Huh?
No lah, you know me, I like drawing poses. Okay, never mind.
That is true. That is true. Should we bring banana next time?
Oh my goodness. Banana. Yeah, but man, yeah, I mean, more importantly, I look forward to coming and hanging out with you again lah.
Right. Hey, by the way, can I also use this opportunity to tell the people here that we have a giveaway happening as well? But
Of course, go ahead.
it's not a giveaway for this set lah, unfortunately. This one's a bit pricey to give away lah. But we have a birthday giveaway because my birthday was on last Wednesday, right? And then we
Yes,
huh?
happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. So we had a giveaway that started then, and then it's for prizes worth up to 1,800 ringgit. Because it's a
Wow.
accumulation of craft makers and artists that combine their gifts it's when you compile everything, it's 1,008 plus plus, and we only have one winner for that lah. So if people are hoping to win something, a big bundle, yeah, they should join it.
Oh my god, I gotta type this out. Give away worst
up
RM. What?
up to
1,008.
100 plus plus though. So there's
Okay.
17 craft makers that they need to check out. So
Okay.
they can head on to our Instagram. There will be a poster. It says MTMT Mega Giveaway. So click into that, and then the rules and regulations all stated inside there.
Okay. Is it studios, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
MTMT. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
the more
Okay.
activation part is over there. Yeah, because I need
Okay.
also in order for all of the creators that collaborated with me to be able to get their publicity as well. Sorry, I'm using
Yeah. No, no, no. It's okay. It's the same thing as what I'm doing, which is also for community. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, you
As
also
long
join
as all of us
you join us?
align together in the same direction and same objective, which is just to promote everybody. Yeah.
Because basically a lot of them, some are actually pretty close friends with me. Some are already gaining some popularity, and some are like completely new people that I
Okay.
met. And I think if they were to proceed and go further, they could potentially be someone that we need to keep an eye on lah. So
Okay.
I by doing this, it's like a one stone kill multiple birds kind of thing. As opposed
Yeah.
to just my birthday, I'm latching on this to probably create this kind of awareness to certain people as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, that said, then I also hope to be able to, well, now that things are going back to normal again, I also hope to bring my intuitive thinking to your studio as well.
Yeah,
Because, like, I think we have,
come back with
as
the
though it's not fated, you know. It's like we keep on postponing, we postponing, and then things keep
yeah.
happening.
Come back, come
So
back.
hopefully,
We need the
yes, yes,
painting session.
yes. So we will make sure that people get the therapeutic part of painting as well.
Yeah. And then you learn some really cool music to vibe with it,
There's going to be meditation involved as well.
like So you paint halfway, okay, everybody put on your paintbrush, let's breathe.
Yeah, that probably is going to be how it's going to be later on.
Hey, I'm quite excited. I want to probably do that because my life is so fast paced these days, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I also realized I need some therapy session. The first thing the person,
More than happy.
okay, Maggie, breathe. Without doing and thinking anything, just breathe. Focus on your breathing. I'm like, okay. Do I breathe up? No, up to you.
I meditate twice a day on every day actually. Without fail. Sorry?
It keeps you sane lah.
Yeah, it keeps me sane. So I have like different methods lah, like for different purpose because meditation got different types and it's for different purpose.
Right.
One of it, I make sure that it's for creativity. That means I let my kite fly. I just let it roam. And wherever it takes me. So that's where I get like ideas and stuff like that. It's actually very useful if you can try that as well.
Right.
Focus on your breathing. It's more like your attention, like you focus on you bring back your awareness to your breathing. Yes, instead of letting your kite fly like that.
Right.
So one day I'll explain more to you in detail when I see you.
That'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much.
Thank you for having me too. You are the best, babe. Thank you for doing this.
All right.
Okay.
So much.
I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions after the session, just let me know. I can reply after as well.
Correct. Yes. Just DM MTMT Studios, or you can leave a comment as well in the video that I will be reposting.
Right.
So yeah, anything you just type lah. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.